good pay. A follow-up on my
Let's move on and talk about mining now. And government is systematically developing more gold mining champions after the South African model towards indigenous ownership of the Ghana mining sector. Now, the agenda is being pursued through the community mining scheme reserved for only Ghanaians. The Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources responsible for mining, Mr. George Mrekuduka, made this known in the Ashanti region when he inaugurated the Adankwame community mining scheme in the Etrima Nwebieja South municipality.
Nwebieja South municipality is one of the administrative districts in the Ashanti region hard hit by the illegal gold mining menace, also known as Galamsey. The problem is so pervasive that large tracts of farmlands have been forcibly seized and destroyed by these miners. Recently, the Municipal Assembly recorded a trapping to death of 2 illegal miners who were prospecting for gold underground. The setting aside of a 500-acre land at Adankwame near Ekropon for a community mining scheme is expected to change the tide. The Adankwame community mining scheme has also been introduced to the modern gold extracting machine known as Gold Catcher, recently imported by the government to provide mercury-free gold extraction at optimal success rates of about 95%. Experts will also provide technical support to the miners. The Etrima Nwebieja Municipal Chief Executive, Mr. Michael Amwa Ewuku, disclosed that the illegal gold miners have now devised new means of searching for gold using a portable device to evade authorities.
Excavator and amphibia akasia yes some small devices here and no namosa na
The Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources responsible for mining, Mr. George Mrekuduka, said the government is using the community mining scheme as a catalyst towards developing indigenous mining champions to eventually take over the mining sector in the country.
Yes, I build local champions within the industry. Say, yeah, Ghana for so Brony friend ownership. Say Ghana for so be only concessions. Now a buying to me aboamo at the machines. Aboamo.
Mr. Duka later inaugurated 17 other community mining schemes in the Ashanti region. They are to regulate the various community mining schemes in their jurisdictions to protect the natural environment, including water bodies from destruction.
Now, the New Patriotic Party, NPP, has scheduled to hold its National Annual Delegates Conference at the Accra Sports Stadium from the 15th to 17th July 2022. 47 aspirants are vying for Women's Organizer, Youth Organizer, Nasara Coordinator, Organizer, Treasurer, Vice Chairpersons, General Secretary and Chairperson positions for the upcoming Delegates Conference. At a news conference in Accra, the National Elections Committee, chaired by Mr. Peter McMenu, advised all aspirants and their supporters not to engage in campaigning of insults, but conduct their campaigns with civility and decorum.
3 prospective aspirants for the positions of National Organizer, National Women's Organizer, and National Youth Organizer, that is Dr. Kwame Afriye, Kosia Sewa Bonsu, and Tumfo Klinsman Kakari Mensah, respectively, resigned their decisions to contest. Honorable Ayikwe Otu, who was vying for the position of National Chairman of the party, has however since withdrawn from the race. In the case of proxy voting, all external branch delegates who are entitled to vote but are unable to travel to Ghana for so doing may vote through proxy. All persons receiving proxies must first and foremost be a delegate already entitled to vote in the elections. All aspirants and or their agents are therefore warned not to engage in any untoward behavior that can be interpreted as bribery or treating within the meaning of the Representative of People's Law 1992 PNDC Law 284, which are serious criminal offenses. The National Election Committee has therefore engaged the Ghana Police Service, who will be on the election grounds to strictly enforce the laws and arrest anyone found to be in the breach of PNDC Law 284.
Let's move to road infrastructure. And government has signed $1.6 million contract with Mercy's First Sky Group to rehabilitate the Dome-Kitase Road spanning two regions, that's Greater Accra and Eastern. When complete, the alternative routes will enhance the socio-economic activities within the two regions and improve the urban mobility system, thus achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 11. Clara Mlano reports.
The agenda is to build a sustainable, accessible, inclusive and efficient road network for Ghana. The 23-kilometer Dome-Kitase Rehabilitation Road project starts at the Dome Runabout in the Greater Accra region to Kitase in the Eastern region. The joint-funded project from the Kuwaiti Fund for Arab Economic Development and the Government of Ghana has a contract duration of 24 months. While urging them to work with expected speed, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Mr. Kwesi Amwakwata, also called for quality work to ensure value for money while solidifying the economic integration of the two regions.
Everybody is happy about it, that this facility is going to be undertaken by a local contractor. The First Sky Group is a leading road construction company in our country, and we do not have any doubt in our mind that the company is going to execute this project with all the competence and the efficiency that the company has acquired over the years, and it's going to be a shining example for all local contractors in our country.
Contractor First Sky Group is to begin mobilization and move to site on July 7, awaiting the official sword cutting by the Vice President, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, for work to take off at the end of July 2022. For GBC News, Clara Mlano reporting.
Let's look at public transport in the country. Metro Mass Transit Company Limited has received 45 new buses to augment its fleet to provide safe, reliable and affordable transport service to the public. Handing over the buses to the Metro Mass Transit Management in Accra, President Akufo-Addo said 55 more buses are expected in the country by the end of this year.
Metro Mass Transit started running 13 years ago with 413 buses, but the company is struggling to keep up with expectation, with many of its fleets either broken down or in a very bad state. This has affected the Metro Mass Transit's ability to provide reasonable but safe transportation for the public. Mindful of this, the governor, President Akufo-Addo, has rolled out a plan to revamp Metro Mass Transit in order to ease the pressure on commuters across the country, especially at a time that the world is witnessing hikes in fuel and food prices. The managing director of Metro Mass Transit, Mr. Albert Edubuayan, said the latest investment by the government will help improve the company's balance sheet.
Currently, we operate an average of 125, and coupled with our low fares and ability to generate revenue is greatly hampered. One major impact on our operations has been the high staff-to-bus ratio, which currently stands at 16:1 as against industrial standard of 6:1. Therefore, the need to urgently acquire more buses to augment the existing fleet is of paramount importance to the sustainability of MMTL. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the arrival of these buses is most opportune and marks a new dawn in the life of this company. This is a major game changer and will go a long way to ensure that commuters have access to affordable and efficient public bus services.
The Minister for Transport, Mr. Kweku Fure-Siama, was grateful to the government of Belgium for the €25 million facility to revamp the company and pledged to ensure that a proper maintenance culture is adhered to.
Our gathering here today is yet another manifestation of the President's promise to completely revamp the Metro Mass Transit Limited as part of his vision to develop a more comprehensive public mass transport system to provide effective transport system for the rapid growth and development of our country.
President Akufo-Addo said apart from the 100 buses expected in the country by the end of 2022 to improve Metro Mass transit services, 40 additional buses will be imported each year for the next 5 years.
This event is significant, particularly because it has provided us with an opportunity to boost further the capacity of our public transportation system. Ladies and gentlemen, the presence of an efficient transportation system is a vital contributor to the growth of the economy. And as President of the Republic, I've made it a priority to relaunch the Metro Mass Transport system in the regional capitals through sustained investments in infrastructure and services. The commissioning of these buses will improve the operations of MML and also offer passengers improved services.
The 100 buses, spare parts and technical assistance were procured at €25 million from the Belgian government. Edward Nyakon reporting for GBC News.
Now, the National Identification Authority, NIA, says its attention has been drawn to a video in circulation on social media that some Ghana cards were allegedly left to rot at its office in Sotom in Accra. Now, it says the cards with 2D barcode were printed between 2008 and 2014, but were never issued to Guineans and have been kept in stores and basements of the NIA headquarters building in Accra. Earlier in an interview with GBC News, the head of corporate affairs at the NIA, Dr. Abudu Abdul Ganiu, said the cards have been audited by an NIA board of survey and passed for destruction as they have outlived their 10-year lifespan and not fit for any purpose.
Are cards that were printed since 2008. Some of them were printed after 2008, but all of that within the period 2008 to 2014. And I'm sure Ghanaians are familiar with the registration for the Ghana card that took place around that period. And the cards that were printed at the time were 2D barcode cards. That is completely different from the type of cards that are being printed today. And for cards that were printed in 2008, by 2018, they would have expired, they would have outlived their lifespan, and that meant that these cards are no more useful. And on the basis of that, a board of survey conducted their audits, and they have declared them no more effective, and rather they have to be shredded, they have to be discarded. We have a report to that effect, and from where we sit, we are putting the necessary plans in place to ensure that these cards are properly done away with. But we've also gone on to assure people that whatever data that we have in our custody in respect of the smart identity cards that we have been issuing, that data is secured, the data is safe, and all cards that we have printed waiting to be issued are properly boxed, they are badged and kept at the respective regional and district offices waiting to be issued.
Let's go to the international front in our neighboring country, Nigeria, where gunmen attacked a convoy of Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari's team in Katsina, his home state in the north. According to a statement by the president's spokesman, Mr. Garba Shehu. 2 persons sustained injuries in the advanced convoy of security guards, protocol and media officers. The convoy had gone ahead of the president's trip to Daura, his hometown, to celebrate the Eid al-Adha Muslim festival this weekend, when the attackers opened fire on them. They were, however, repelled by the military. Katsina is one of the states in northwestern Nigeria affected by criminal activities of bandits. Many people have been killed and thousands kidnapped in the region since 2015. Let's still stay in Nigeria, in Abuja, where more than 400 prisoners are missing following a raid on a prison in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. 4 inmates, a security guard and several attackers were killed after the prison was targeted on Tuesday night. The defense minister said Islamist militant group Boko Haram is suspected of carrying out the attack and dozens of its members are on the run.
Loud explosions and gunfire were heard near the Kuje medium security prison just outside the capital on Tuesday night when the attack happened. Nigeria's Correctional Service said apart from the 4 inmates killed, 16 others were also injured during the attack. A number of high-profile detainees, including suspected militants and jailed politicians, were in the facility at the time of the attack, but the Correctional Service said jailed senior officials were not among those who had escaped. According to officials, almost 1,000 inmates were in the facility when the attack took place. Almost all of them initially escaped, but 443 have since been recaptured. Defense Minister Mr. Bashir Magashi said Boko Haram militants had mostly likely carried out the attack and that 64 jailed jihadists had escaped from the prison. Over 5,000 inmates have escaped in jailbreaks in Nigeria since 2020.
It's time for our weather updates. It's Thursday, Throwback Thursday on GTV Breakfast. And Felicity Ahafianyo, who's with the Ghana Meteo Agency, joins us on the phone lines. Hello, good morning, Felicity.
Good morning, Motiti.
We're nearing weekend. How is our Thursday going to look like with regards to our weather?
Yes, our Thursday, for the first time in the last 3 months, is going to be pretty cool for the start till afternoon. So we are expecting cloudy weather over Greater Accra, Central, Western, and parts of the Middle Sector. That's Ashanti, Eastern, and Volta region this morning. And then we are expecting just light rain or drizzle that may affect some areas, but it's nothing to worry our heads about. Over the north, we are expecting cloudy over those around the upper west region, but those over Tamale, Yendi, Bolga, Navrongo, we are expecting partly cloudy sky. And then by afternoon, around 2 p.m., we are expecting a weak storm that's traversing from Nigeria to engulf the upper east region and parts of the northern region, including the Savannah area. So we are looking at places around the Koforidua, places around the Achimda, Obasi, Takwa, and its environs. And then over the north, we are looking around the Tamale, Yendi, Bole, Damango, Bolgatanga, Narelugu, and Wa to have thunderstorms with rain. And then it's likely that there may be lightning in there and then moderate windy conditions. The temperatures for today is expected to go as high as 34, 35 over the northern sector, 31, 33 over the middle sector. Along the coast, temperatures will be around 30, 32 degrees Celsius. The evening is going to be mostly fair across the 16 regions of Ghana. The state of the sea still remains rough, but then today we don't have much rain clouds over the sea. Fisher folks can do fishing on the sea. The Volta Lake too is pretty cool till the 2 p.m. that we are expecting some system over the OT region. So those around that area can still call our forecast office for any further information that we may have on the storm for them.
All right. Thank you so much. Felicity Ahafianyo is the head of Central Analysis and Forecasting at the Ghana Meteo Agency. She's just giving us a rundown of how the weather will look like. You did hear her. If the weather will change, they'll put it on their social media handles, on their contact platforms. You can reach them as well. Our fisher folks, she did say you should be cautious when you go out to fish. But that's it for GTV Breakfast News at 6 a.m. with me, Maltiti Saida Sadiq. We're still live on Facebook at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, on Twitter as well. Up next, well, sports will be starting early, not GTV Breakfast Sports, but we're talking athletics. CAF is sitting with a legend, so we're celebrating the legend Babylonia. And after which the headlines will come your way. We spoke about the gunmen attack on President Buhari and other insecurity issues in Nigeria, the prison break. CAF will be speaking to a Nigerian journalist on an extensive conversation. You don't want to go anywhere. Stay with us.
7 verses 16 and 17. Yes, sir.
Revolution. And at 7 o'clock we have GTV Sports. But I'm going to do something sporty from now to that time. So just imagine, you're going to count. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's somebody who's just done his work. It's run like 100 meters. And the person who's sitting in the studio is a legend in Ghanaian athletics. First to break 10 seconds, and his record lasted for over 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest is Leonard Miles Mills, two-time Olympian, and just a great Ghanaian legend. Leonard, good morning.
Good morning to you.
So your work consists of just 10-second bursts, and that's it. That's what we see.
That's the ultimate goal, yeah.
When did you know you were going to be a champion sprinter?
Doing athletics wasn't part of my plans. I was playing soccer, actually.
Okay.
I played Colts at that time, Gansma United, and I was enjoying it. I mean, I thought I wasn't good, but I was having fun playing it.
What position?
I kind of played all around, but I was mostly in defense.
Okay.
You know, and one would think that maybe, oh, this guy has speed, so maybe to put him out front, you know, but no. I knew now why my coach put me in defense, you know, because I could be a little quicker than the strikers, you know, and place them from the balls. But yeah, so I was playing soccer for a while until I got a message from my brother, who was then already in the U.S., that he's got me a school and that I should start focusing on track. And so I was like, I don't know. I love soccer, so I'm gonna stick with soccer. He said, no, you got to switch.
So your brother is the one who made the switch for you?
So I mean, the family, we're all athletic. You know, we played soccer, we run around, you know, there's usual things. And I guess I was the quickest, you know, so that running part has always been with me. My dad was a sprinter, my mom was a sprinter.
Ah, so it's genetic, really.
So it's in there. It's in there. We can't do away with that. And so switching from soccer to track wasn't anything a big deal, you know. Except with soccer, you get to run around everywhere you want. With track, you got to stay in your lane. You know, you veer off a little bit and you're disqualified. And so with that message, just got me to do more athletics, and I couldn't get away from it because, you know, he went to Accra Academy. I went to Wesley Grammar, and then I transferred to Accra Academy. And he was being called Babylonia at that time. And so when I got there, I inherited the name as well. And I can't be playing soccer and be called Babylonia, so I guess I have to do track as well.
Did you inherit the name from your big brother?
So I inherited the name from my big brother.
You know why he was called Babylonia?
I have no idea.
You never asked him?
I have no idea how he came by that name, and they just put it on me, and I guess I carried it on until today. So
did you run a bit for Accra Academy before you left to the States?
I did not run a bit. I did run a lot for Accra Academy before I left, you know, and during those days, inter-schools and colleges was a hype. I mean, we brought the fun, you know, the N made the fun word in athletics and inter-colleges more fun.
And this would be the 80s?
No, this was, the latter part of 80s, you know, 89, 90, 92, thereabout. And so, I mean, we always lit the stadium on fire when Akraka arrives. I mean, the Jama will be flowing. When we win, oh my goodness, the stadium is ablaze.
And what were your events?
I was doing the 100, the 2, and the 4x1. And the 4x1, I mean, the scoring points always came down to between Accra Academy and Motown, Motown, you know. And they had a good guy out there that, you know, became a good friend.
You know his name?
Or
his nickname?
Chris Mo.
I know Chris Mo. Moses. Yes, Billy Moses' younger brother.
He was a good sprinter.
Yes,
very decent, nice guy. Yeah. He made it more fun. And it was always the challenge between him and I.
Okay.
And but you know, the best always won, you know, and that would be me. So
So those were good days. Do you miss those days? Do you wish Interpol was back?
Oh, I miss those days. Nowadays you talk about the technologies and people are just wandering and walking around, have no idea. Even if it's going on, people just walk by. Back in the day, people would stop and come.
Yes.
You know, I remember I met a guy who said, "Man, I left office to come watch you today."
It was a big deal back
It
then.
was a big deal,
Yeah.
and it was fun. You know, if I quite remember, the MP, Nilan Vanderpool.
Yes.
I think he did an article on me when he was a journalist around that time. It was a nice one, nice piece of that, and he's always, he told me he was always at colleges and schools intercolleges athletics.
And if you think that back then there was no social media, no Instagram, no nothing, but it was still a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of equated to right now if social media were, you know, running up, you know, those days. I mean, things, I don't know, the likes and the hits and the subscribers, and I mean, it would go up the roof. I mean, it to be off.
And of course, countries like Jamaica have kept that colleges thing, and we can see Asafa Powell and all these guys. And, what's his name again? The big Usain and all that.
Bolt,
so
yep.
So the schools athletics for you, it must be encouraged, right?
It was encouraging. You can't, you know, and if you go to the States, you can't do one without the other. So the combination was there, and I got that from here. So it wasn't a big deal, you know. But right now, unfortunately, with the school system, and you know, it's really taking a toll on schools and colleges a little bit. And the kids for some reason, don't seem too excited too about athletics.
But maybe they're not seeing heroes like back then when we saw the heroes on school times.
True. But I mean, with social media, everything is good and bad. Everything, you know, good things have its positive side and negative sides. You know, they use social media to kind of advertise, to promote things and things like that.
Exactly.
At the same time, they spend too much time on it. And they forget to be doing, you know, their homeworks and school, you know, schoolwork and things like that, and you know, go to training and you know, perform. But then it's like, it's good and bad.
It's good and bad. Let's talk about the good. Let's throw it back. Today's Throwback Thursday, so let's throw it back to some of the contests that you took part in. Let's just throw it back. Let's watch Leonard in action. Right here on GTV Breakfast. I'm here with sprint legend, Ghanaian sprint legend, Leonard Miles Mills.
Kobe Miller runs in lane 3.
Azumati was 1 year old.
And then you ran 9:98. Can you remember? Did you have a feeling that you were going to break a record? You were going to go under 10?
No. The time was not a factor at all. I mean,
paint the picture for us. What was the scene? What was the day? What was the time?
I had won it the year before, and I was being told that I was lucky and it was a fluke. You know, I wasn't meant to win it. Basically saying Leonard Miles Mills wasn't good. Okay. You know, basically. And so I said, all right, you guys get ready. You don't know what is coming at you. So that year I trained. And of course, injuries always sets in, you know, and you don't know.